Kia ora. In the news for Thursday the 18th of July. The Psychoactive Substances Act has come into force today, putting restrictions on the sale and marketing of synthetic cannabis as well as penalties for breaching the law. Legal highs can't be sold at dairies, any sort of grocery store, petrol stations or anywhere alcohol is sold, and there must be no sales for under 18-year-olds. Those who fail to comply can be penalised up to $10,000 for an individual and $50,000 for a body corporate. The Conservation Minister has declined the Milford Dart Tunnel project in Fiordland. Nick Smith rejected the $180 million 11-kilometre tunnel, saying there's very high environmental benchmark for allowing engineering works in national parks. He has yet to decide about the tourism proposal for a monorail through Snowdon Forest.
I don't want to prejudge in any way the Fiordland Experience project. I have not considered any papers on it at all. I will be following a similar process in the consideration of that proposal.
A Labour MP is renewing his call for a corporate manslaughter law. Police have decided not to prosecute Pike River mine management over the 29 miners' death due to the scope of evidence needed to succeed with the charge. Labour's Andrew Little says charges could have been laid if we had a corporate manslaughter law, as police could look at aggregate failures by various people rather than specific actions. Meanwhile, the families of Pike River miners are considering legal action against the Department of Labour. There are health and safety prosecutions underway, but family spokesman Bernie Monk says they're still waiting for someone to be held accountable, including government departments.
The Department of Labour was very much at the fault here, and the police already stressed today that they cannot take government departments to court. So we'll have to look at sort of avenues like this.
Mr Monk says there may also be private prosecutions against individuals involved in Pike River. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, the Anglican Church of New Zealand has spoken and clarified that Auckland Parish St Matthew's in the city is not allowed to marry homosexual couples in the church. St Matthew's had courted controversy by agreeing to participate in a ZM radio promotion to hold the country's first gay wedding. That ceremony will now be held at a different venue. The AA is relieved that more major intersections will have red light cameras from the end of next year. Mike Noon says it's not about revenue gathering, but stopping the risky practice of running red lights, which sees 2 or 3 people killed each year and hundreds injured. To international news, the Taliban has told the Pakistani teenage activist who was nearly killed by militants last year to come home. In her first public appearance at the UN Youth Assembly last Friday, Malala Yousafzai vowed to keep campaigning for girls' education. Today, a senior Taliban commander released a letter accusing Malala of smearing them and promoting an education system designed to produce Asians who are English in taste. World leaders are being urged to stand up for journalists. A UN Security Council meeting to discuss civilian protection in armed conflict situations was told that almost 1,000 journalists have been killed over the past 20 years, more than half of those in the last decade, and 28 have been murdered this year alone. Veteran journalists joined other UN officials in asking the 15 council members to protect media freedom and to ensure crimes against reporters are investigated swiftly. It seems Queen Elizabeth is as impatient as many Britons for the royal baby to arrive. Meeting publicly in the Lake District, the Queen told one young girl she had no preferences on her great-grandchild's gender, but did have one wish.
Very much like it to arrive. I'm going on holidays.
Finally, Wellington Police had to stop city traffic this morning to allow a different kind of pedestrian to cross the road safely. A seal was found wandering down Jervois Quay before briefly taking up residence next to Civic Square, and it took several officers to herd it back into the water. The seal has returned home to Frank Kitts Lagoon. And it's time for me to head home. Those are the headlines. Mō te ora.